Let's show a hand. How many of you are here to find out, is it the right time to buy? Wow, only that few only. Huh? Sorry, come for buffet. All right. Is there a buffet provided? Oh no, then better ask probably Guru, right? Of course, I'm very happy to be here to really share with you exactly, is it the right time to look at in terms of properties? Of course, I think everybody is here wanted to find out because why? There are so many developments out there in the market. Or is it, which development is worth to consider? Of course, I'm standing here, probably you're thinking, hey, Kelvin, you definitely say Symphony Suite is the best, right? True or not? Of course, end of the day here, whether is it the right or not, it's not for me to decide. I think it's for you to decide because end of the day, I only can provide you with what? Information. The information to justify whether yes or no. But before I go into the development-wise, I just want to share with you some of the research that I've done that tells you exactly not whether you want to buy Symphony or whether you want to buy whatever. Is it the right time? All right, let me run through. Of course, this is the very important question that most people will ask about, whether is it the right time to buy or even sell. But due to time constraint, because I only have half an hour, I will do as much as I can so that you can understand. I'm not so sure you will understand or not, but definitely I'm going to show you things. Let's look at this. The surprise trick in property cooling measure. Is it a surprise? Is it a surprise? To some, may be a surprise. To me, it's definitely not a surprise. Because why? I already prepared it in the sense that I know that this year you will. For those people who have probably attended my sharing before last year, I already actually talked about it. But later on, I will tell you exactly why. And look at the number of people that's visiting the show flat. It also tells you something. People are coming forward. If not, you talk about last 2 years ago, whether people will come or not? No. All right? And Fraser's has actually sell 400 units of the seaside residences as well. See, people are buying. People are really coming in to buy. But of course, end of the day here, you also must understand whether what are you buying. Of course, if you are buying for own stay, you probably love the development. But you are buying for investment. For me, I'm an investor myself. I only focus on what? Numbers. End of the day, I don't think any one of you seated here want to buy something based on emotion. Because emotion is something that is what? Tricky. You may end up buying the wrong thing because why? Kanchong, everybody is buying, what will you do? Everybody rush to buy. But is it the best one? I'm not so sure. Of course, if you ask me, I can tell you yes or no for the specific project. But for me, I always look at what? Numbers. I believe any one of you who is sitting here or standing here only want to know one thing, facts. Whether does the fact shows results. If you buy based on emotion, I only have one concern for you. You may end up buying something that is not at the right price. Of course, in Singapore, if you buy at not the right price, you also will lose money. It's just that people take 4 years to make money. You probably take 10 years to make money. Do we have so much time to wait or not? No, right? Everybody want to make money as soon as possible, right? Of course, look at the reason en bloc sales has been done. This year alone, there's 3 en bloc going on already. So what does it signal to you as well? Remember one thing, developer is also very smart people. They won't take action if the market is not right. Same thing for us. We as investor, we also take action when the what? Developers do what? Action. So of course, end of the day here, beside that, what else to look into? Maybe before I start off my segment, I just want to introduce myself. I'm the real estate for 15 years. I'm also running one of the biggest team in Singapore now, in PropNex. So of course, what it's all about here? Basically, now it's more than 2008, not 2006 now, right? But of course, very important here is also myself as an investor and also I'm a consultant to many of the people out there to really understand whether it's real estate, which property sector is worth to consider. Of course, if you ask me, a lot of time, many people look at real estate, is it a crisis or is it an opportunity at this point of time? You decide whether is it a crisis. For me, I see opportunities. Opportunities in the sense that only when the market down, you have a chance to buy good properties. When everybody start to say good thing about the property market prices going up, you probably think twice whether you want to move forward. Especially there's one person which is your newspaper media. When the media keeps saying that the market is doing well, that time you also probably being what? Going to buy at a higher price. Now, luckily, the media is still talking not so good thing. So means still got chance, right? Of course, like him, right? He only says that be fearful when people are greedy. Be greedy, right? When others are fearful. So very clear. So of course, even then, this is just words. Now let me show you numbers. I always believe that real estate is all about facts and figures. There is always a techniques, and it's also a system to help us to decide whether yes or no, whether the property is worth to buy or not. I always believe in all this information that I'm going to show with you. Of course, today, whatever that I'm going to share with you here is based on my own kind of research that I've done. All right? But of course, the research that I've done, I only based on one thing called URA. Any information I gotten is all purely from there. It's just that I derive the information for you to see at a clearer glance from here. All right, of course, whether is it a good time to buy or sell now? Let's look further. If you look at the overall volume now, you can see that in 2012, the volume of transaction from 37,000, it dropped to 12,847 in 2014. But the next thing that is very important that you look at it, 2015, the volume has increased from 12 to 14, 14 to 16. I want to show you later on what is called volume of transaction. What is called trend. Real estate to many people is always a what? Cycle. Everybody you talk to, real estate is always a cycle, it's always a cycle. But let me show you what is called cycle now. If you look at the statistics, it shows you one thing. Number of units. This is the volume. Now it's going up. Volume is moving. Last 2 years, people may not be moving. Because why? They want to wait and see. But the truth here is that we can see that the volume is already picking up. Next. STI also went up 28.8%. If those people who are in the stock market or those people who are in the real estate business or invest in real estate, you should know that in 2007, stock market was the highest. And also the price is also highest. Of course, in 2012 and 13, stock market is also at the highest, which I'm going to show you soon. This is one of the articles that I gotten from Sunday Times. If you look very carefully, 2007, this is the stock market. Another peak is actually here. If I move it to the volume of transaction, I want to show you one thing called here. This is 2007. When the volume is the highest point, you are also buying at the highest point. So, if you want to buy something, you look at it very carefully here. This is the 2 point that is highest. Those who invested in property, you will be very sure and agree with me that these 2 years is always the highest. If any one of you who actually bought property in 2008 or 2009, you will sure make money. So the key question is what? The volume. You have to look at the volume transaction to look at whether is it worth to do so. And now you are very clear to see what? The volume is picking up. Next. I derive this whole thing from called a trend. Real estate cycle to me is always a trend. I have gone through the 2006 to 2007, 2008. It's like, wow, the property prices slides until that badly. Then 2009, the property slowly start to pick up. I've seen this particular cycle. I can only tell you one thing here is 2005, the real estate cycle goes up for about 3 years. Until 2007, 2008, first quarter, it starts to slide down. And it will last another 3.5 years for it to go upward from here. And now it came down. Now the next thing is, it start to pick up. Of course, to many people who are out here who is not in the real estate business, I'm not so sure, do you really see what I'm saying? I can only tell you, I derive the information from URA figures. Luckily, we have a system to help us to do so. If without a system, you ask me to draw this, you would say, Kelvin, don't anyhow talk. But now the thing is not I anyhow talk. It's because the URA tells me that. So I can only tell you one thing here is what? Now it's 2017. Actually, for me, I can tell you here is that I see the numbers moving upwards in terms of volume last year. If I really cut it 2016 towards the second half, if I plot a 3 years, it's 2019. That's the reason why our government is so nice. They tweak the measure in such a way, SSD is 3 years. If you time it correctly, don't say I say, 2019, you probably have a chance to sell and make a profit. If, let's say, we follow the trend. 2016 last year already start to move. 1817, 1819, just nice SSD cut. If you were to take action fast. But of course, this I say. But I only look at what? How can it be so coincident? 3 year one time frame, 3.5 year one time frame. If you were to take action now, you'll probably be the happy person to let go in 2019. Of course, for you to decide, for me, I only look at numbers. And if you look at the CCR, Core Central Region, you can also see one thing. Buy when the volume is low. Do not buy when the volume is high. High means people are coming in. Same thing, if you are in the stock market, when the volume goes up, the price goes up. You ask yourself, generally it's the same. And this time, STI already take the leads of 28.8% increase in terms of STI. So, my friend from Prudential also tell me, Kelvin, you know that the funds that you bought this year has gone up about 30 to 40%. Why suddenly everything start to move together? It won't happen by chance. It happens because of trend and cycle. And why the government need to take a measure now? Also, there's a reason behind all these things. For me, I focus only on facts and figure. I don't focus on emotion purchase. Emotion purchase is a very dangerous thing that you should do. Because why? All based on what? Wow, people rush, you go in and buy. Is that the best way? I don't. Right? I only look at numbers. Now, if you look at it carefully, this is the low, this is the low, this is the low now. Right? If I turn it over to the CCR in terms of per square foot wise, this is 2005. You look at the numbers, and it drops. Now it's only 9.7%. If you can make another 50% from what you have purchased, you are happy already. Right? But if you can make 100%, it's considered very good. But don't be so greedy. 50% 被拍了. Let's run. Right? So of course, it's based on what I see. Right? Now, RCR, same thing. If you look at it, how come OCR, RCR, CCR generally are the same? Because why? They follow the volume. So, I want to tell you here, now it's only picking up. Don't wait until here, then you probably want to take action at the highest point. It may be too late to go in. A lot of people like to time the market. Yes, you can time. But you never time unless you look at numbers. I can only tell you because I do research work to tell myself, is it a yes? If I tell yourself, hey, buy lah because why this is the best product, then I think you better be careful with those things that you are buying. Alright? But of course, very important again, you look at RCR, same thing, 110%. Look at the drop. Up. It's also picking up. One more thing for all the people who are here as well. If many people, I'm not so sure, I say, generally those people who buy property, when they buy, they always tell themselves, hey, I buy now, how much will I make? But there are people who dare not buy, will say what? If I buy now, how much will I lose? There are two types of person. One person will say, I buy now, how much will I make? The other person will say, I buy now today, I will lose how much? Then you better don't buy. But if you look at it very carefully, if you look at my statistics, look at the drop, it's only 10 over percent, 20%. People focus on down. Let's focus on up. Why should we focus on down? Myself, I've been investing in property for the last couple of years. So I know very carefully, the moment you stop putting money into assets, you'll never be able to grow your wealth. The only way to grow your wealth is through asset. Ask yourself this particular very important question. Just imagine 5 years ago when you work for other people, how much can you save? End of the day, whether did you save or not, I also do not know. You ask yourself better. But the only way to save is what? Assets. Some of you probably have bought assets. You ask yourself, well, I make 300, 400,000. You ask yourself, you work for your employer. Work until how long? How many hours did you really save the money? Some probably yes, but how many really save, right? If you look at it, again, OCR, volume is low, right? Volume is high, the price move. Same thing. I want to show you is what? Actually, it's a trend. The trend is actually moving. And that's the reason why now the tweak in measure. Why is there a tweak in measure? Why? Does it happen just like that? Let me show you why. This was what I shared with them last year. Of course, this may not be the most. I want to show you something. 2015 and 2016, where our real estate prices came down a fair bit. Why did it came down? Because the oversupply issue. And if I told people, when will the measure be tweaked? Why it has to be tweaked in 2017? Why must it tweak 2017? Why not next year? Very simple. If you look very carefully, a construction like, for example, Symphony Suite, easily will take another total from the foundation work to it develop, it takes about 3 years averagely. If you look carefully here, if in 2017, if they don't do anything, right? If the government does not tweak the measure in 2017, over here there will be a problem. There's no supply. But I'm not so sure how many of you read, right? If you look at it here, this is the latest expected completion. 2019, 8,000. 2020, 7,000. Thereafter, no more drops. I'm not so sure how many of you understand what is white paper. Anybody reads about white paper? White paper. Singapore white paper. No, too busy working. Right? White paper is just a piece of white paper. Right? A white paper is just a numbers to tell the government, should I have what? Supply. Because why? White paper tell us very simple thing that the population in 2019, I expected 62,000. The highest, I wanted 89,000. If you remember, Singapore said during the election, said I need 6.9 million. This is what they are talking about here. They actually plan everything ahead. So if they plan ahead, they have to tweak their measure. Because why? 2019, they need about 17,000 houses. If you look at here, it's only 8,000. But they have numbers of 62,000. If you look carefully, last year the population is 72,000, 2016. But they cater for what? 60,000. So you can see the government is damn serious to actually bring up the population. But what causes property prices to increase? Mainly because of what? Population. So why the government take measure is very simple. Because why? They need to cater to the supply here. If they don't do that, what will happen next? Real estate will become what? A bubble. The price will shoot up. And they can never allow this to happen. Because when they allow this to happen, who will complain? Singaporean will complain. Of course, those who invest will never complain. Because they hope that the price keep going up. Of course, if I'm in the position, I would say that it's best not to go up too fast. Because the GDP, the economy will not do well. Gradually, if you look at my chart previously, you will see one thing. The high is always higher than the previous high. The low is always higher than previous low. So the moment you start investing in property is the moment you start growing your wealth. That's what I can tell you here. Same thing for 2020, we need about 25,000. Now it's only 7,000. So the government, I can tell you, the government when they tweak measure, can they one shot tweak everything? Once they tweak everything, what will happen? The price will shoot. The government open tab, they also want to slowly open. They cannot one shot open all. So to this year, they open one tab. Don't wait until next year, they open another tab. Because once they open the second tab next year, you're probably buying at a higher price now. So if you are smart enough, you should know what to do. Don't wait until the tab is all fully open, then you go in. But sometimes people are just like that. When people start to rush, then they will what? Rush, right? People don't rush, they also take their own sweet time, right? But I only can tell you, look at my numbers, will tell you one thing. The volume is still low. Don't wait for the volume to go high. If you look at all the aggressive bidder recently, you will know the reason why. Right? Slower decline in private home prices. We can see that the resale market also has what? Come up in terms of price. That's why buyers are buying in now in the resale. Because the price has gone up. Which also very attractive now, especially I'm not so sure the developer is here, not the people. I can only tell you one thing. Now the developer prices is almost same as very close to the what? The resale price. So if you are smart, you might as well get new one. Why get old one, right? Old one you spend money on renovation alone will cost you a bomb. I'd rather you put money into what? As a down payment rather than you spend on renovation. Renovation costs money or not? It's a loss, right? But putting money in the down payment is still your money, so it's not a loss. If you look at recently, the last couple of months, October till April, you can see that the volume of transaction for new launch has also gone up. If you look at the resale market, same thing, it has gone up. I can only tell you, the market is moving based on numbers, based on facts. The only question here is whether do you want to take action to look at this or not. I leave it to you. Of course, the other thing here is that I also want to share with you here, look at all the recent bidders, right? MCLA Market Drive, 14 bidders. Fernview, 14 bidders. Totak, 24 bidders. Sterling Road, 13 bidders. If you look carefully with all these people are buying in, all these people, why they are so aggressive now? Very simple. They also know that the government is slowly tweaking the measure. If you are the developer, will you want to bid? Because they know that the next 2-3 years down the road, there's an opportunity to make money. But if they don't go in now, they will have a chance of not making money. And especially now the China people are coming in to bid for land. They are more aggressive than anybody else in a sense, right? So if you are the buyer, what will you do? Will you follow the developer? I will follow the big developers because why? The big developers definitely plan before we do anything. They buy, I think this guy who bought the Sterling Road, right? He paid 77 million extra. We only buy 1 million here. They pay 77 million extra. So they are more aggressive than us, you know. But if these people dare to go in now, I don't think we should not take action now. But of course, next is very important to look at price, whether is it worth or not. Right? Of course, there's a few key factors for you to take note of if you're talking about buying. Real estate, just like I mentioned to you, is really like a cycle. If you see what I'm trying to tell you guys, you should know very well that there is always a cycle. For those people who have missed the last 2 cycles, I hope that you don't miss the 3rd cycle. Don't come and tell yourself that I have already so-called slowed down. I should wait for another round to test whether yes or no. Please don't have this kind of mindset. Many people make a mistake because why? They did not take action. Remember, real estate is a cycle. One of the key catalysts for Singapore economy, especially real estate. Real estate got so many segments under the real estate arm. So can the government stop the real estate from moving? Cannot, because it's one of the main revenue for the people. And of course, the next key thing is that the population is increased. As a result, housing demand definitely required as well. And also just want to add on, the volume of transaction is also picking up too. All is based on URA. So I can only tell you, volume actually is the same as stock market. If the stock market takes the lead, the next one is the real estate. So for you to see whether do you want to be part of it, end of the day is your choice. I'm very happy and lucky to be here to share with you more about this so that many of the Singaporeans here or the foreigners or the PR here can actually take action and make as much as what? Possible. Alright, of course very important is that money in the bank, you know very well, is that you are losing money. Not that you will not make money. Real estate is always appreciating. But money in the bank is always what? A little bit depreciating because of what? Inflation. So I leave it to you to decide. Because end of the day here, as long as you know that your money is put in the real estate, I don't think you have any problem of believing, especially in Singapore. If Singapore you still cannot believe, I don't know where you want to believe also lah, right? So Singapore government, you know very well that they always what? Protect. And if you look at my charts, I tell you one thing is very simple. To re-anchor to let you know is that the high is always higher than the previous high. The low is always higher than the previous low. It's already a very clear indication to tell you your money is appreciating if you put in the asset. Very clear. Of course, the most important, I want to ask all of you here. How many of you agree with me location is the most important one? Location, is it very important? The rest don't know. Then the rest is what? I thought Singaporean people always say, location, 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 location. Isn't it? Is it not? Right? Is location the most important? Later, I'll tell you whether location important or not. That is my opinion, right? So, if you look at this, Scott Square, anybody has not been there before? That means you are not Singaporean. Right? If you look at Scott Square alone, this place, is it good or not? Location, is it good? This one is in Jurong, Centuries. Is it good or not? Also good, right? But the price, those who buy here, all lose money. Location good, oh, good. This one location in Jurong. Last time say, wow, Jurong is very far away. Where got people want to stay? But all those who buy Jurong all laughing because why? They make 100%. The best thing is what, you know? They use very little money and make more money. This one, very smart. They use a lot of money but still don't make money. This is called Haolian. Right? Put money at the wrong place. Hey, can you imagine if you put money in the wrong place, all your money is stuck in the house. It's not even what? Working for you. It's called dead money. So, is it important to select? Yes. Hey, this one you know or not, right? One day sold out as well. It's definitely a good development. I can tell you it's a very good development. The location is fantastic. It's really beside the Jurong East MRT. But when they launched at the time, I tell myself, I saw so many people queuing up. I go and buy Caspian because why? Caspian only 800 plus PSF. I already exited long time ago. But people pay highest 1,007 plus per square foot. But why people still buy leh? Because they know that Jurong is very good location beside MRT. Not that it's no good lah. I'm just telling you it's very good. Just that I won't put my money stuck there lah. Same thing. We all have the same amount of money if 200,000. Will you want to put in a place that can give you immediate in terms of profit margin in 4 years? Or you want to put in the money, 4 years still cannot sell one? Like today, all of them, if they sell today, will they make money? No way. But location is very important, is very good. But let me tell all of you here, to me, the entry price is more important than location. You can buy the best location, the entry price will never be the best. Remember in Singapore, how far, how deep also got people stay. You look at here, got any people never stay one? You see all the HDB, all the private got people never stay or not? Is it ghost town? No, still got people stay. Actually, sometimes, my dear friend, we don't need to use a lot of money to make the same amount of money. Remember, very important, I want to share one thing. For me, I only look at what? Facts and figure. People rush does not mean I will rush. Sometimes we have to take a look at the side way to see what is good for you as well. Sometimes you already make money by looking at side. I buy 8 plus per square foot, people pay 1,000 plus per square foot. Which one will buy? Because people what? Emotion. The last thing that we do is to buy property based on what? Emotion. I don't think any one of you seated here want to buy based on emotion, right? All must be very logical person. For one glance, I can see everyone is very logical person, right? No facts and figures, please think twice. Yes or no? Of course, if you have chosen the right techniques, you will make sure that your funds work for you. If you make the wrong choice, your money will never lose away. It's just that it has been locked up inside the safe box for too long. You can. But our age is catching up. We want to make sure we do things faster. We want to be rich, or not say rich lah. We want to be better off as early as possible. My dear friend here has been with me for so long. Today he's here to support me and listen to me. My dear friend here, he is 52. You see, well, luckily I take action today. Last time he was just sharing with me. Last time only HDB flat, but today he say, "Well, I got more than 10 properties." Hey, give you a round of applause, can right? That's why today I want to share with you how do I determine whether the property is it worth or not based on numbers. For me, I'm not interested to tell you whether the symphony, what is the location, what kind of furnishing they have or whatever. Sorry, that is not my way of doing things in a sense. I always look at what? Numbers, right? Does it justify or not? I always base on my investment based on two very important things. It's called what? First, whether potential upside or not. That means if I buy today, will I see a potential? Please do not buy when people tells you the future development next time when the what is going to happen later on, your property prices will be what. That will be in 2020 and 30. Too long lah. Like Morgan Stanley say that if you buy today, 2030 will double up in price. We all pray hard lah. But do we cannot use that kind of judgment to tell you, I should buy now. I think that is a very dangerous way to buy things, right? Of course, I want to buy now is based on today. If I enter today, do I see an immediate potential? That's the way I see. Next, what is the risk that I'm involved? Everybody want to make money, true or not? But everybody also scared to lose money. That's another problem. So eventually, they won't take action. But if I can solve these two problems for you, you probably have this so-called, at least I can go in and take a look and see whether is it worth to enter or not. I think that's very important. Right, let's look at the potential upside. How do I determine a property is it worth to consider? First, let's look at this Symphony Suite based on my numbers and analysis to tell you yes or no. End of the day, I'm not here to promote the development, whether is it worth to buy. I only tell you based on the information, based on facts and figure, to tell you is it worth to consider. You make a decision yourself, but I only tell you I look at numbers. North Park Residences, which is also very good, is near to the Yishun MRT station. Everybody is happy with the location. Remember, location is very important as well, but the price also very important. My dear friend here, this North Park Residences was sold for 3 room, 1.273 million. For Symphony Suite, the lowest I understand that is 912K, which means that there's a $361,000 differences. Can I ask you this question? If you buy at 1.2 million, how much must you sell? 1.5 million? right? If you buy at 900,000, do you need to sell at 1.5 million to make the same amount of money? Does it mean that North Park go up to 1.5 million, your Symphony Suite don't go up at all? Will it be or not? If those people who in the real estate market or have been investing in property, one thing, the good location price went up. Does the sideway also goes up or not? Unless Symphony sell you today 1.2 million, you think twice for 3-bedroom. Better don't go North Park better. But I'm telling you, there's a 300,000 margin here. What I'm trying to tell you just now, if I want to buy a property, I must make sure I see what? Margin. Those who buy stocks, do you want to look at margin? Same thing. If you buy property, do you want to look at margin? Yes. But I don't tell you the future margin is what. I want to tell you now. Even today, if I don't make money, will I be the first one to have the highest risk or not? I don't think I want. 1.2 million, definitely. Of course, everybody buy because of convenience. From here, you take one bus or whatever. I don't know whether they got feeder bus or not. Take a bus, also don't take 300,000. You better put 300,000 in your pocket now, better. That's what I want to tell you here. All right, if you look at today, the current selling of North Park is at, for 3-bedroom, is already 1.2 million after discount. Right, for a 2-bedroom now, it's going at 1.08 million. 3-bedroom at 900 over 1,000. 2-bedroom at $1 over million. Which one will you consider? You decide whether which one is worth to see. Right, for a 3-bedroom now, it's 912. If you look at 9 residences, which is just across the street over the other side, these people who paid 940,000 for a 2-bedroom unit, Symphony Suite, you buy how much? 3-bedroom at 912. Those who come in early, if you bought Symphony at 2-bedroom, 700 over 1,000, you will make money. Why? If you look at the market today, where to find a 2-bedroom at 700,000 one? Not many. You go and find. You probably can't find now. The resale are already higher in terms of price. Unfortunately, the 2-bedroom also. Right? Now you can only look at what, 3 or 4-bedder to look at it in a sense. Right? Sky Smithtonia, which is at the very deep over the other side of the Yishun area. No MRT at all. Per square foot for Sky Smithtonia was done deal at 1,336 per square foot. Symphony Suite at 996 per square foot. If you look carefully, the margin I'm talking about is here, 344 per square foot. So if you take a 100,000 square feet, you already make 300 over 1,000. I cannot assure you you can make money, but I can only tell you one thing. You won't be the first one to lose money. That's the only thing I can tell you. For me, I'm more kiasi than anybody else because I also own many properties. I want to be very careful in my investment as well because I want to make sure I go in at a lower cost, I still can make money. And worst come to worst, if I cannot make money, my yield always higher than the rest. That's my key point here. Because 300,000, your rental cannot be a lot of difference one. But the risk is very high in that sense if you are buying for investment. Of course, you are buying for own stay is whether you like or not. But I also believe that every one of you here who want to buy own stay, will you also want to make money? I think so. Everybody is the same, including myself. I wouldn't want to buy something end of the day that I don't make money. Everyone is the same over here. If you look at North Park for a 4-bedroom Symphony Suite at 1,023 square feet, it's about less than $1 million. If you go for 3 rooms, so at 1.3 million. So the difference is what? Now here you can get a 4-bedroom at a cheaper price of 300,000. 300,000 if you really consider for a 4-bedroom, you already benefited. My dear friend said, can I do it up to make into 5-room or not? Of course the U is better in a sense, right? But I only can tell you one thing. For a 3-room at 1.3, here you can get a 4-room at $1 million. You think what is best for you? Of course, location may not be the best in terms as compared to North Park. I can tell you that is the truth. But 300,000 is worthwhile for you to take a bus over. I feel like. If not, I don't know whether they got feeder bus or not. I only familiar one thing. My client bought 2 units here last year or this year, I can't remember. But definitely we went in much earlier to look at the right price. Of course, 9 residences, if you look at a 4-bedder now, is 999 for Symphony. For 9 residences, 1.08 million, you can only buy a 3-bedroom for 9 residences. But you can buy a 4-room now. I think it's more worth today you can buy. Can I ask you a question? Where to find $1 million property for a 4-bedroom today? Is it easy to find? Just ask yourself. Today you buy an EC, also not cheap, you know. Today, EC can always easily 800,000, 900,000. I saw recently Bellwood or Bellwater, also about 800,000-900,000. Some even cross 1 million. But now you can buy private for $1 million. So what is the risk that we are talking about here? You think about it, right? So of course, the current rental, I can only tell you opposite now, there's a project called 9 Residences. The rental is what? 1 bedroom, $1,008. 3 bedroom, $2,008. 4 bedroom, $3,000. If I were to do a stress test, what is stress test to me? Stress test based on 2%, if I buy a 915K for 3 bedroom, my rental is only $2,005 here. Every month I got to top up $200. $200 every month I top up. Is it a lot for you if you rent out this unit? I'm based on a very conservative now. The rental is $2,005 based on 9 residences because we are just one street across. 2%, you have to top up $200. If you look very carefully, what I want you to know something here is what? The $200 that you top up, where does it go to? Principal. Actually, to me, if those people who have bought my book last time, because I've already sold all my books already, I talk about real estate is a form of what? Saving. If $200 you cannot come out, you don't want to buy that property better. But $200 you did not go to anywhere. You go to what? Principal reduction. Is it your own money? Yes. The interest, someone taken care of, which is the tenant. So whatever balance is all your principal. Even I top up, I'm still saving money. That's what I want to tell you here. All right. So of course, if based on interest rate of 3.5%, you have to top up another $700. Again, 2005, 2001 interest paid. This amount of money that you put inside will go to where? Principal. If you are okay, then you proceed. $700, I think is less than many of your car. I think a car will cost you more than that. But today you can actually put into a house. That's why it's very important. I want to share with you here just now is to remember to buy a property, buy into profit. That means I can already see an immediate profit margin inside. Then I will go in. I wouldn't want to buy something that is future, I can make 300,000. Future 300,000, no one can predict. But now I can see very important thing is that I already buy below what is called the market price. If I can buy below market price for 300,000, 200,000, I think it's good to enter. That's how I take my take on these particular properties. All right. So that's the reason why step by step we'll actually spot the right properties. Maximize your profit, minimize your risk. Very important, right? That's why I did the stress test for many people. Some, of course, stress test, you probably ask your agents here to actually show you how to go about doing it so that you can understand better, right? One of my client who actually bought a property that is below market price, as a result, he made the money from here. Just to share with you something. End of the day, he also entered at the what? Price below. And we exit in the sense of making profit. I hope that all of you can actually make more money by going to real estate. So that's how much I want to share today. I hope you guys enjoy my sharing, and I hope you guys will benefit from what I've given to you. I wish you all the best. I hope you can start taking action to go into real estate. Real estate, I can assure you, is the best way to grow your wealth. Thank you very much. Thank you.